Welcome to the Brain Picker Pros Show, live from Lake Wiley, South Carolina. This is Larry Goins, and I got to tell you guys, we have a special treat today. I've got a good friend of mine who I've known in the real estate business, internet marketing business, entrepreneurial business, self-development, self-improvement business for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years now, something like that. And I'm just really excited about our call tonight because one of the biggest things I've seen real estate investors struggle with is they tell me, I got the books, I got the tapes, I just can't make myself do it. I just can't get out there and do it and do what it takes to become successful. And, you know, one of the things that I've found over the years is you have roadblocks. And you may not even know what those roadblocks are, but there's certain things holding you back. And some of it can be maybe you don't feel like you deserve to make a lot of money if that's one of your goals deep down inside. And you've got to get past these roadblocks. So I'm really excited about my special guest tonight. I'm going to tell you more about him, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce him to you, Nathan Amaral. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, Larry, how are you?
Man, I am doing great. I am doing great. In fact, I said earlier by mistake, I said live from Lake Wiley, South Carolina. As you know, I'm actually on vacation down in Orlando, Florida. So
Absolutely.
Just hanging out here. We rented a condo for the week, and we're hanging out. We were at Aquatica today, playing in the water park and having a good time. And so I'm live from Orlando, Florida, and you're actually live from Lake Wiley, right?
Absolutely. It's amazing what you can do in this business, Larry, once you build a system around it, as you have. You can take your business anywhere, virtually.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm really excited to have you on here tonight. And, guys, I met Nathan, I guess, about 4 or 5 years ago, like I mentioned before, and I was so impressed with what he was doing. He's got a wholesaling business where he buys and sells houses. He started multiple businesses. Some have failed, some have succeeded. But through that whole process, he has learned and grown as a person and as a businessman, and I very much value his opinion. So I actually asked him if he would come down to my office and spend some time as a consultant to help me grow my business, and not only my teaching and training business, but my real estate business, and he's just been an invaluable asset. And now I talked him into moving to Lake Wiley temporarily, I'm sure, you know, but he still does his traveling and speaking and training and all that he does. But he actually comes into our office every day and helps in our office to build our organization and put better systems and processes and procedures in place. So we're blessed to have him. And one of the business, I got to tell you guys this, one of the businesses his family has is a bakery, and they make the absolute best bread. I gotta tell you, Nathan, what kind of bread is that you send us? It is just phenomenal.
It's actually a Portuguese sweet bread, so it's not your traditional bread, but it's got it's made with eggs, and there's a lot of sugar in it too. So it's got the traditional ingredients, but sugar as well.
It's gotta have a lot of sugar in it because it is really good. I love it. My daughter and I will sit and eat a whole big thing whenever you send it down. It is just awesome. And he sent a huge thing. I don't know what you call that, but it was like probably 2 feet across or something, a whole big round thing, and it was just huge. And everybody in the office loved it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They're asking for more.
Absolutely. Well, guys, Nathan, he's authored several books. He travels around the country teaching people success formulas, and I wanted to introduce him to you, my students, and I would like for you guys to be able to spend some time with Nathan tonight to be able to learn how to get in the right mindset, because I've heard a lot of students that have said, I've got the books, I've got the tapes, I just can't get it off the ground, I just can't make myself do it. And Nathan has more self-discipline than anybody I know. He's always learning and growing. So I wanted him to spend a few minutes and tell you about not only himself, but about what you can do to get past your roadblocks and become successful. So, Nathan, first of all, thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate the opportunity. This is going to be a fun and exciting time, and I am going to try to, push together all my years of experience in building businesses in the short amount of time that we have today. But I think it'll be great.
Absolutely, and I know you have some free gifts for everybody, so guys, stay on the line. Nathan's going to give you some freebies tonight, some free things to help you to get started. So with that, man, I'm just going to let you take it away, and I'll be here learning just like the rest of us.
Great. Thanks, Larry. Okay, well, tonight we're talking about the millionaire mindset, and this is really where it all begins, is with the mindset. This is step number one, and I know there's many entrepreneurial people that are on the line and starting up in their real estate business, their online business, and really monetizing that business and system. And that's one of the things over the years I've specialized in through experience, not just in a degree, but through experience of building businesses and building systems. So today it's really about the mindset. One of my passions is personal development and business development. And as Larry mentioned, I do travel around the country speaking about, success principles and teaching about the laws of the universe and how to apply them in your life to grow your business and to leverage yourself in your business, such as Larry was mentioning earlier, how he's in a totally different state, but yet his business keeps on growing. And that's very important in business, because if you're not leveraging yourself and if your business is not making money for you when you're away from it, then it's a hobby. And really, that's really what we're gonna conquer on this call today. So, today's topic is about the millionaire mindset and how to build a business with a millionaire mindset by taking some small, simple steps, using some very easy tools. It won't take up a bunch of your time, and it's going to get you some great results. So in our time together, what we're going to go over is who I am. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, why you should listen to me, and some simple tools that you can start using. As Larry said, stick to the end of the call, because I'm going to give you some great free tools that you can start using. But first, I want to begin with, the picture of the American flag here. First of all, we live in the greatest country in the world. People from all around the world will pack up their bags, maybe with little or no money in their pocket. They will leave their country that they were, born and raised in, and come to this country simply for the idea, the ideology, the hope and the possibility, the opportunity. And if you're on this call and you live in the United States of America, you, have to be grateful. And we're going to be talking about how to be grateful in your life to actually reap more and have more come into your life by simply being grateful. So first and foremost, we have to be grateful for living in the greatest country in the world. That by far is one thing, I guess you could say I'm patriotic, but that's one thing I've always been grateful for, is for the people who serve in our military to keep this country free, but also, the opportunity that we have to literally go from nothing to something in this great United States of America. So today I'm going to give you as much as I can by giving you the simple steps of, one, how to have a healthy millionaire mindset. Number two, I'm going to give you some easy tools that will increase your personal and business growth faster than you can ever imagine. And next, I'm going to teach you how to think like a millionaire all the time and why it's important so that you can achieve your goals. Lastly, why you need to start thinking and believing you can achieve your goals. And again, at the end, I'm going to give you a free gift that has everyone talking right now. It's been blown away. But here is who I am and why you should pay close attention to me. I've been building businesses for over 10 years. I've been building businesses in manufacturing, network marketing, real estate investing, online business, and e-commerce. And I'll tell you, every business that I've started, some of them have failed, and others have grown into very large businesses. Also the founder of a personal development company that's called Nathan Amaral International, and co-founding in another personal development company called Fearless Life Solutions. Also co-founding in another business called Superstar Solutions, which is an online marketing company for small businesses. I have a heart and a passion for small businesses and helping them grow. Also the author of the Steps to Success Action Guide. Also the Secret to Finding Your Passion and Purpose in Life, Unstoppable Confidence, and a list of other books as well. Also the creator of the Glow Method. I travel around the country, as Larry said earlier, really inspiring people and giving them hope. What I teach is not motivation. It's about really life change and creating the lifestyle that you want. Sometimes I have people asking me, how is it that everything you touch is, turns to gold? I get that quite often, and I said, I just followed the simple steps, and those are some of the steps I'm going to give you today. And also, being on the call and knowing Larry for the past 4 years, we met at his Investapalooza, which is a great, great time. If you've never been to Investapalooza, I highly recommend you get out there, not because you just meet Larry, but just the knowledge and the tidbits of information that you're going to get that you can apply in your life to a whole nother level. So I started wholesaling, as Larry mentioned, about 6 years ago, and I took that company. Before I even did my first deal, though, I was wrapped up in fear. I was stuck. I studied real estate investing for 2 years, and I was just afraid. I knew every contract. I have every CD, and I had a bunch of training and education, but it wasn't until I got with a coach. It wasn't until I started working with somebody like Larry, with him and his team, that actually will take the time and walk you through a deal and help you close it, and that's what I needed. So that's what really launched my business to a whole other level, and now I'm happy to know Larry as a business partner, but also as a friend and a mentor. So that's really, really powerful. And we're going to talk about having a coach and mentor in your life and how important it is. Then, lastly, is I'm also a Success for Teens ambassador, meaning that I travel around the country speaking at different high schools because I believe the children are the future. Our young teenagers is where a lot of ideas of entrepreneurialism and small businesses start. Also myself, I started out as a paper boy, waking up every morning at 4:30, delivering newspapers out of my car, pedaling for a dream, something better, something more. And over the years, I've built up and I've had a bunch of experience. And there's just some testimonials here on the screen that just speak about what other people that I've touched their lives or helped them grow in their business, and how I've given into their lives and their businesses, and they've gotten great results. So that's one of the most important things that I'm going to wrap up the end of the call with today, is really giving back to others. Zig Ziglar, he's a friend, and he used to be a personal development speaker. He said, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll eventually get what you want. And that I strongly believe that, because it wasn't until me personally I stopped focusing on myself and what I was doing, but I focused on how to serve other people and get them, help them get what they needed and solve their problems and their hurts and their pains, that everything started changing. So here are some testimonials that you can read and see the lives that have been changed. But, there's a picture here that has a car accident, and this is the day that my life changed. Really, I was at the time I was a paper boy, and I was again pedaling for a dream, and at this time I was driving, delivering newspapers, about 500 newspapers every morning, and one of the things I did, which I don't know if there's any if you've ever been a paper delivery person, you usually do it solely by yourself. Well, I took it to a whole nother level, and hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from with this, because it's about a system. Is I developed a system, even in my paper route, is that I could literally leave my paper route and have someone else take over for me for weeks on end and still make money. Now, normally people would say, wow, that's a lot. I had a lot of other paper carriers say, how do you do that? How do you go on vacation for 2 weeks and have someone take over your route? Or how do you leave your paper route business for a month and still, make money and have someone else do it for you? It's because I had a system. And those are some of the systems that we're going to cover today. But this was the day that my life changed, was when I got into this car accident. The paramedics and the fire department that was there, they literally were shocked and wondering how I made it out of this car accident alive. And for me, at this point in my life, I was 18 years old, and my life flashed before my eyes, and I was laid up in bed for 3 days. And that's really where I found that I looked at my life at that time, and I said, what if I died? Well, would I have achieved everything I wanted? Would I have done all the things I've wanted to do? Would I have given all the things I've wanted to give? And my answer was no. My answer was no. And I felt like at that point in my life that I didn't live life to the fullest. And that's where I said, well, not anymore. I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to give more than I've ever given, and I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to live as if I was dying, even though we all are in a way. But I'm going to give it my all, because I never know when my last day is going to be. And that car accident really changed my life. And it just put me, full force into everything I do. And as Larry mentioned earlier, in his own personal, voice and opinion, he says that I'm the most youngest motivated entrepreneur out there. And actually, I'll never forget the time a good friend and mentor of mine, Brian Tracy, said that to me, that I was the most youngest motivated entrepreneur that he's ever seen. So actually, Larry, you're the second guy that's ever told me that. So I appreciate that.
Cool. That's cool.
So after that life-changing, car accident really just woke me up to a whole nother level. And on the screen here, I just have pictures of mentors in my life, from Jim Rohn to Mr. Rockefeller, Napoleon Hill, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, there's W. Clement Stone. And, what I want to show you here in this example is that when I was searching, and I'm always educating myself and always learning, and you should be also, is that I found mentors and coaches that I could learn from. And that's so important. When you are trying to build your business and grow yourself and grow your business, you have to latch on to somebody else who's been there and done that. Statement. Here's a very bold and quick statement for you. If you want to achieve millionaire status in your company, if you want to take your life to a whole other level, if you want the shortcut to success, find someone who's already been there and done that and just model them, duplicate them. Pick up their mannerisms, do as they do. Because, and I'm not saying you're going to change who you are, completely and become a totally different person, but I'm telling you, if you start mimicking and modeling them, you're going to get the same results, because success leaves clues. And successful people you will pick up their mindset and the way they operate. And that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about that millionaire mindset. So today, on this call tonight, I want to give you my millionaire mindset. I want to give you the tools and the thought processes that you can use in your life to start creating a $1 million business as well. So to have a healthy millionaire mindset, and I hope you have a pen and a paper available, because I'm going to give you a bunch of tips here and some numbers that I want you to write down. But to have a millionaire mindset, the first thing you have to know is you have to know where you are going before you get there. You have to know exactly what the end is. Now, Napoleon Hill says this in his book, Think and Grow Rich, and he mentions it in a few other publications that he's written, where knowing what your definite chief aim is. You have to know what the end result is going to be. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. It's like driving to a new destination that you've never been to without a GPS or without a map. You need to know exactly where you're going. So in your personal life and in your business, you have to know exactly what you're trying to go for. I know Larry can attest to this, is that if you don't have a goal for where you want to take your business from, in 2011 to 2012, you're not going to hit it. You're not going to reach your mark, because everything successful business is built on plans, strategies, and planning. And once you have those plans in place, you can actually see the results take place, because they're coming into your life. You'll see them happen because you've planned for it. So I'm actually going to give you some tips and strategies on how to properly plan for it so that you can get those results too. So again, Zig Ziglar says here, I have a quote where it says, if you want to reach your goal, you must see the reaching in your own mind before you actually arrive at your goal. So you actually already have to believe that you're going to achieve your goal before you ever achieve it. We've heard this many times in life, I'm sure, is where you've heard the saying, act as if. Act as if you already have it. Another great saying by Napoleon Hill is, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, that he will achieve. So you already have to start thinking about what you want and start moving forward to achieving it, and start believing it's going to come into your life. Very, very important. Here's another thing. If you want to achieve your goals and dreams, you must write them down. You have to write them down. And I get this a lot. I get when I tell somebody, they ask me, hey, Nathan, how do I do it? What do I need to do? What are the steps to take? It was just 2 nights ago. I had a mentor friend of mine who was asking me, what is it you do that gets you results so quickly? And I said, well, I know I've told you this before, but have you been writing down your goals? And he said, no, I've slacked on it. I said, write them down. See, when I'm teaching around the country, there's this. I use an illustration with my body, and I always say, when you're writing down your goals, there's these chemicals that work up your hand and work all the way up your arm and work into your shoulder and go all the way up to your mind. And I call those success chemicals because when you write down your goals, a few things take place. One, those success chemicals travel from the pen and the paper all the way up your arm and into your mind, solidifies it, but also you start to smile. And when you start smiling, what's happening is in your mind, and I don't want to get all scientific on you, but what happens in your mind is that your neurons are starting to work themselves. And there is a piece of brain matter in the back of your mind, in the back of your brain, called the RAS. You're going to want to write this down. It's called the Reticular Activating System, the RAS, R-A-S, okay? And the way this works, and I'm sure you've experienced this before, so think with me for a moment. Do you remember when, or you've wanted maybe a new car? You're driving a car that you've had maybe for 5 years, and this brand new car that's come out, and man, you see this car popping up everywhere. You see it when you're driving down the highway. You see it parked in the grocery store parking lot. You start talking about it. You just see this car everywhere, and you want it more and more and more. Let me tell you what happens. The RAS, the R-A-S in your mind, its only job in your mind is to look for the things you want in life. That's it. That's its only job. So when you start thinking about what you want, that RAS in the back of your mind goes to work for you. It's automatically working, just like breathing. You don't even think about it. So your RAS will already start looking for what it is you want. Now, here's the most important part. The difference between identifying what you want and not seeing what you want is belief. See, and writing down your goals and your wants actually turns on the RAS. So I want to help you turn on your reticular activating system. I want to get it turned on and rev the engine. And how you do that is by writing down those goals. See, most people will say, I've written down my goals already. I've done that before. And I say, before? Well, what about now? You really have to continually write down your goals to fuel that engine in the back of your mind. And it's not about before. You have to have your goals written in a place you can see them. You have to look at them every day. And there's a question I always ask myself, and I always tell this to my clients, is ask yourself this question when you look at your goals. What am I doing today to get myself one step closer to my goal? And then do something about it. Do one small step to get you closer to that goal. So the difference maker with goal setting and writing down your goals is the belief, as I mentioned earlier. That belief, if you're not writing down your goals, what can happen is, and maybe you've heard this before, maybe you even caught yourself doing it, is that someone would want something. Let's say you want something, and you start dreaming about it, and you see it happening, and you think of, oh man, it would be great if I could have that level of business or this type of income, maybe $500,000 a year or $1 million a year. But it's the thoughts that take place a few seconds after that that matter the most, and it's the most important. If those thoughts are negative and they tear down, or there's disbelief in those thoughts that take place after that, meaning, you'll never get that, or that's impossible, that's never going to happen. Or sometimes you hear the naysayers in life knocking at your door, telling you that's ridiculous, you're never going to achieve that. Those are crucial seconds after you start thinking about your wants and dreams. So that's why it's so important to write them down, because when you write them down, it solidifies it. It brings more meaning to it. So write your goals and dreams down. So here's another most important part. I was just talking about the naysayers. Sometimes you've probably done this. You've had a great brainstorming idea, and you shared it with people, and the first thing they do is they laugh or they snicker and they say, oh man, you can't do that. Or how about this scenario? Have you ever been in a position, maybe you have a significant person in your life, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, and you're trying to do something. Maybe you're trying to build your business, and you work so hard during the week, and, time is tough. You got a family, you got kids, and time is tough. At the end of the week, you just maybe want to relax or spend time with the family, but yet you're still trying to build your business. You're still trying to build your real estate business. Well, what do you do? And how do you handle if you've been trying for so long, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, or maybe even a year has gone by and you still don't have the results, but yet you have the naysayers in life telling you, you're still trying at that? Why don't you do something that really works? You need to do something that's really going to get you some money. We need results now. And honestly, those are some of the most sometimes hurtful comments and sometimes the most hardest ones to get over. It's the naysayers. But I'm here to tell you, don't listen to them. Sometimes you just have to nod your head. I always had a mentor of mine tell me, when you hear that stuff, just nod your head like a bobble, like what do they call those bobble dolls, and just nod your head and move on and continue to go. And I want to interject here because here is where it's so important to have a coach by your side in your business. The coach will help you with your mindset. The coach is someone that's going to hold you accountable to your goals, but also is going to help you, be on your side. They're going to be rooting for you. They're going to believe in you when no one else does. That's why it's so important to have a coach in your life. So find someone that you can latch onto, if you're in business and you don't have a coach, you need to get one. So don't listen to the naysayers. Move on from them. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people. By you being on this call, and if you're continually listening or you're on the phone, when Larry's given some great content calls, you have to continually learn and grow. Larry's always talking about investing in yourself and continually to educate yourself, and that's really important. But it's also important to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. And this doesn't mean that you have to cut people out of your life, but you might want to spend a little bit less time with them. I'll give you an example. A few years back, I was building a company that I was at, maybe I'd say $800,000 a year, trying to take it to $1 million, and it subjected some of my time. And I had to reevaluate myself with one of my mentors, and he sat me down and he simply said, well, where do you find most of your time going? And who are the drains in your life, as he said, the drains? Who's draining the energy out of your life? And I made a small list of a few people, and he asked me, are those people going to help you achieve your goal? And I said, no. He said, well, okay, do those people make your life better? Do they make it a positive and a happier place, or do they drain you and make it a worse and negative place? I said, kind of negative. All they talk about is, how bad their day is at work, or, being how, the economy is going down the toilet and stuff, and there's just negative energy. And he simply said something like this. He never said to cut off that person completely, but he said, go back to that person, let them know what you're trying to do, and focus on how to make their life a little bit better, and by, speaking life and, speaking positive words into their life, but letting them know that you're going to be spending more time in what you're trying to do and trying to accomplish. I did that, and it worked, and I moved on. So my a key here in this example is surround yourself with like-minded people. Napoleon Hill, in Chapter 10 of Think and Grow Rich, mentions the power of the mastermind. The power of the mastermind is so powerful because when you get into a mastermind group and surround yourself with like-minded people, your life, your personal life, and your business life will be taken to a whole nother level. I guarantee it. So try it. If you're not in a mastermind already, get in with one. So here on the screen I have, don't participate in the sluggish economy. Don't, because now is the time we've ever seen before. There's so much growth. And I say this to every entrepreneur that's on the phone. If you're if you're listening to the media and how, times are tough, well, if you look at the real estate market, now than ever before, real estate is like 50% off. There's a big sale in real estate. And with small businesses, there's been more funding going on in small business growth than we've seen in a long time. We've seen a lot of new areas of business and ideas and totally new technologies. There's been new jobs being created in social media. There's new jobs being created in the app world, applications. There's so much going on out there. I hope that after this call or during this call that you notice that there's more opportunity out there than there is anything else. There's so much you can do, and once your eyes are open to that, it's really important. So don't participate in this sluggish economy. It's sluggish for a reason. It's sluggish so that we can start taking action and reap the benefits of the growth that's about to come. People often say that motivation doesn't last, at all. Well, neither does bathing. So that's why I highly recommend it. You need to be motivated. You need to be inspired. So I like to use quotes. I like to watch some short videos sometimes that really just, kicks up my day. And you should really set some time aside in the morning or at night. I preferably like the morning, 15 to 20 minutes just read something or watch a video that's really just going to take your personal development and your life to another level. Maybe something about, growth, maybe time management, thinking a little bit differently, or maybe something in your industry. I would highly recommend you start picking up something that you can, just nurture your mind with. Next thing is you must believe before you can achieve. We've been talking about belief and how it's so crucial that you have to believe that you're going to get what you want before you have it. Because if you don't, you're not going to achieve it. So write that down. You must believe before you can achieve. Belief is so powerful. Okay, here's the 5 easy tools that I want to give you. It's going to help you increase your personal and business growth faster than you ever imagined. Get ready to write these down. The first one is a journal. The second one is goal-setting lists. The third is a vision board. The fourth is a mentor or a coach. And the fifth one is meditation. Now, notice how these are 5 easy tips about your personal and business growth. Notice how I did not say employees. I didn't say, online systems or tools or autoresponders or email platforms or anything like that. I simply mentioned some 5 tools, very easy tools that you probably think, well, why these? These are these are like step number 1. These are the most important things. Before anyone builds a very large business or has high success in their life, they actually do these. They do these steps subconsciously, and they do them physically, such as a journal. It's very important to write in a journal. If you can take a page a day and write about what's going on in your day, and then over time, you can actually look back and see the challenges that you faced, the successes that you've had, and look back and reread it. And it's really life-changing. So I highly recommend you get a journal and just start writing about what's going on in your day. But more importantly, I want to tell you a little secret that happens. And you may not see it at first, but I guarantee by day 3, you're going to see some awesome stuff happening in your journal. In your journal on day 3, you'll probably see something like different ideas pop into your head. Whereas, as I mentioned, you'll probably be writing maybe a page a day, but sometimes you'll want to write 2 pages or 3 pages. I don't recommend you write a book, but write at least a few pages. And you'll start having these ideas pop into your mind. Another cool thing that happens is if you are facing problems when you're writing it out, you'll actually probably find solutions to your problems. Thomas Edison said this in his biography when he would meditate for an hour every day, but he would also have a notepad on the side of him so that he would write down in his journal about his ideas. And as we know, Edison has created thousands of inventions simply by clearing his mind and writing it out. Very important. Next is goal-setting lists. You're going to want to write your top 10 goals, and I would highly recommend you rewrite them every month. You rewrite them over and over again every month because sometimes your goals will change how you will achieve them, or they may change altogether. You may just feel that I don't want this goal anymore. It changed, and that's okay. So you need your goal-setting list, and you need to post it in a place you can see it. The third, again, is a vision board. This is really exciting because a vision board is very, very powerful. What I recommend you do is go to your local bookstore or your magazine shop and pick up the magazines of things that you would want. So maybe it's a house magazine, a lifestyle magazine, a boat magazine, whatever it is that you want. Maybe it's a family magazine. You rip out the images that you resonate with, the ones that you could just emotionally connect with and say, you know what, I want that. Whatever it is, it may be more time, traveling, car, house, family, giving back to charity, whatever it is. I want you to rip out those pictures, and I want you to post those images on a vision board and hang that vision board in a place you can see it. Fourthly, a mentor and a coach. We talked about this and how important it is. You need to have someone that's going to hold you accountable and encourage you, going to build you up when you have your down days. We all have our down days. Everyone does. No one's special. There's no business person that doesn't, get in a rut sometimes and maybe doesn't want to go to the office or build their business, and it just happens. And we get in a rut. And that's when you need to open up your phone, click the speed dial that says coach, and dial and just talk to them and tell them where you're at. Tell them how you feel. And they will be the ones that are going to build you up, believe in you, and take you to the next level. It's very, very important. So make sure you have a coach by your side. If you're in business and real estate, you're going to want a real estate coach. You're going to want someone that's going to pick you up. Business can be tough sometimes. You're going to have great days where you're cashing really big checks. You're going to have days that are just, no movement. What do you do? Who do you turn to? You turn to your coach. Next, the fifth one is meditation. And meditation can mean a few different things for a few different people, but here's the thing. Meditation is simply this. You focus and you take time to think about what you like, what you want in life, your goals and your dreams. And this may be in different places for you. It may be by the lake. It may be driving in your car. It may be in the shower. It may be maybe you're driving up to the mountains, or I don't know, maybe you're in an airplane. Whatever it may be, but you need to take that time where you're just thinking and clearing your mind and meditating on exactly what your goals are, what your dreams are, and truly believing in them that they're going to come to fruition. So apply those 5 steps. Those are 5 easy tools that you can start using right away. Okay, so the 2 images on the screen here, what do you see? Well, we have a woman who's dressed in a business suit, and we have a man in the back of a car with a laptop. The reason why I chose these 2 pictures for you is that they're working harder. They're working smarter and not harder. And that's really important. Sometimes when you're starting in business, and I know exactly if you're on this call and you're saying, man, I'm starting in business and this is not easy. Well, I'm going to teach you a few steps here to take in the next few minutes of how you can start really working on your business instead of in your business. And when you work smarter and not harder, you really can start reaping the benefits of achieving everything you want in your life and in your business. So let's dive into that. But first, before we do that, what's wrong with these 2 pictures? What do you see here? We have a man and a woman in 2 separate photos sitting on a beach chair, in the beach, in the water, with a laptop. What? A laptop? Give me a break. Would you really want to take a laptop to a beach? First of all, it's a very sandy situation. You don't want to take a laptop on the beach. And the sun and the glare does not work together. It doesn't even mix. And personally, I wouldn't want to take my work to the beach anyway. Who would? But here's the thing. We see these images in our life, online and maybe on billboards or, different websites that we go to. It brings a picture and an image. It brings a lifestyle that we want to live. But it's a fake lifestyle. No one really wants to be at the beach with their laptop. Why would you? These are the type of things that we want to see. Being at the beach with our family, enjoying time together with them, having a good time, flying or traveling around the country, maybe having that house, up in the hills and just spending time, hiking or climbing, or maybe taking some time to give back to charity. That's really why you're in business. You're not in business to take your work with you to the beach or, take your laptop with you everywhere you go. And the cool thing is that we can, in today's economy and with the way we do business today, is really we can work virtually, which is fantastic. But we build our businesses so that we can spend more time with our friends, our family, and we give back and travel and have the things that we want and live the lifestyle that we really want. So keep that in mind. Become crystal clear of truly what it is that you want in life and have a clear picture of that. So here's some of the pictures that I really love to travel, so I wanted to show you some of these pictures here. I enjoy traveling, but I'll tell you this. I've built my businesses, and I don't take my laptop with me. Most of the time when I travel, I take 3 weeks to a month, and I go out of the country where there is no internet connection, unless there's no American internet providers, and I just totally disconnect. And you have to keep that in mind as you build your business. You have to spend that time with your family. It's like recharging your batteries, and you need to do that. You need to clear your mind. This is all a part of the millionaire mindset. It really is. If you're constantly working on your business day in and day out, getting little sleep and not making it, and you feel like you're spinning your wheels, you're doing it wrong. You're working in your business, trying to do everything more than work on your business. Building a business is supposed to be fun, and you're supposed to have a good time and achieve the results you want. So apply some of the things that I've already mentioned already, and you'll get those results. Okay, so I want you to write this number down, because we've been talking a lot about time, and I want to give you this free gift by writing the number on the screen down. But I also want to ask you this, is what do you do with your time? Time is so valuable. It's the one commodity we can never get back. It's the one thing that we'll never get back. So it's so important that you understand and know what you do with your time. Rockefeller said it best when he said there's two keys to success and wealth in life. And one is, if you efficiently manage your time, you'll become wealthy. And if you efficiently manage your money, you can become wealthy. So it's really important. If you want to build a $1 million business, you have to understand and know where your money goes and where your time goes. So let's start with the time. Understand where your time goes. And I want to give you this gift. It's my time management tactics. This guidebook will walk you through how to leverage your time, how to manage it, and understand where it goes so you're not wasting time. And also, as a business owner, you can leverage your time to a whole other level. Okay? So now, if you're just listening on the call, that number is 773-234-3085. So I want you to think on a few quotes here. One, it's by Napoleon Hill. He says, "Don't wait for the time will never be just right. Don't wait for the right scenario to happen. Don't wait for the right amount of money to come into your life. Don't wait for someone to knock on your door for opportunity to strike. No, you create your own life. So don't wait. Now is the time to get started." Ray Kroc said it best also. It says, if you work for just money, you'll never make it. But if you love what you're doing and you always put the customer first, success will be yours. I want to teach you a little strategy in the next few minutes here about how to identify what your customer needs. If you're in business, you have customers, and how do you develop good customer relationships to really monetize? And if you look Ray Kroc really developed the McDonald's system, and he focused on his customers first. He focused on speed and convenience, but he focused on their needs first. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Lastly, John Rockefeller said, "I don't think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature." Perseverance. It's really what it's all about. I mean, when you're in business, you're going to get blows. You're going to get days you don't want to, you're tired and you're frustrated and you wonder why it's not working. But perseverance will really help you get through. That's why it's important that you are passionate about what you're doing, because that passion, that desire and drive will help you to continue to move forward. Okay, so here's some questions for you that I want you to ask yourself. Is how to think like a millionaire most of the time, because what you think about is what you bring about. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. It's best if you write these down. So I want you to ask yourself, how can I delegate this? How can I delegate this? When you're going throughout your business day, you're going to want to write that out or ask yourself that question. How can I delegate this problem or this challenge that I'm having? Who can I give this responsibility to? Next, who else wants to learn what I know? I'm going to teach you a little strategy with this question. You may be wondering, what are you talking about, Nathan? Who else wants to learn what I know? Here's a tip. When you are building your business, there are other people around you that I'm sure either knows what you're doing or has some interest in what you're building. Okay? What you're going to want to do is help them or teach them what you know. because you obviously are studying and learning about business. And if it's in real estate, I mean, I've done this in my real estate business where as I built my real estate business, I built it with people working in my team for free, simply because I taught them everything I know. And that's what you want to do, is you want to leverage yourself. You want to leverage your time. That's how you build systems. You leverage your time using OPM, which is other people's money, and OPT, which is other people's time. So keep that in mind. Who else wants to learn what I know so I can help them, teach them, and in exchange, they can help me grow my business on my team? Okay. Next question is, who can I bring onto my team? Who is someone good at what they do, and they do it very well? Who is it? Identify those people in your life. Build a power team. See, this is what millionaires and successful business owners think about most of the time. They think about, how can I delegate this? Who else wants to learn what I know? How can I bring better people and quality people into my team so that I can take my company and my life to another level? Next question is, what am I going to do today to get me one step closer to my goal? That's the key question. When you walk into your office, if you're currently working for you're currently an employee, that's fine. If you're self-employed, that's okay. Or if you're currently running your own business full time, you have to ask yourself this question: what am I going to do today that's going to get me one step closer to my goal? See, achieving your goals is not going to just happen overnight. It's small steps, disciplined steps, every day. That's what gets you closer to your goals and your dreams. Okay, so I want you to write these down. The next is the never stops. I call these the never stops. So you never want to stop learning. You never want to stop investing in yourself. You never want to stop working with a coach. Always have a coach in your life. You never want to stop reading. Never stop writing, because we talked about having a journal or writing down about how you feel. Never stop being grateful. I'm going to stop right there for a second. W. Clement Stone said in his book, The Success System, that if you are grateful for the ear that you have, the eyes so you can see, the ears so you can hear, and the air that you take in every day without even thinking, if you can start being grateful for the little things, you'll automatically see how wealthy you are. There are so many people who don't have eyes to see, ears to hear, and all of the above. So that's the most important thing. You have to start being grateful for what you have now, today, your current lifestyle, the family that you have, the living environment that you're in. Okay, it may not be millionaire status yet. That's okay. But be grateful for where you're at, because I bet you it was better than a year ago. And if it wasn't, well, what are you going to do to change that? Ask yourself that question. What am I going to do today to get me one step closer to my goal? The important thing is to be grateful for where you're at today, because as soon as you're grateful for where you're at today, the law of abundance says it just like this. It's about to come into your life once you're grateful. Really important. Next one is forgiving. Never stop forgiving. We're all going to make mistakes in life. Your business partners, your future joint venture partnerships, your family, your friends, your relatives, the naysayers. Don't hold a grudge against them. If things go wrong in your business or if things went sour in a past business transaction, don't let it loom and gloom you. Don't let it sit with you and ride that out in your life. Forgive and forget and move on. Next is never stop loving people, and never stop serving. I talked about how you really have to serve your customers, and we're going to dive into that right now, is how to help others, how to serve other people. This is a millionaire mindset right here. This is how you take your company, your lifestyle, to $1 million level. You serve others. You give to other people first. You solve problems. So here's what it is. How to help other people? Know what you are good at. You have to know exactly what it is you specialize in. What is it you're great at? What talents and strengths and gifts and abilities that you have that you can use to help other people. And when you operate in those talents and gifts that you are naturally born with, when you operate in that, you can successfully help people to the maximum and then create a system around it and leverage that system. Next is learn to say no. You have to learn to say no to people. You can't be a help to everyone. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You have a friend, a relative, a cousin or uncle or aunt or whatever, a friend who says, man, can you help me out with whatever it is? You fill in the blank. Have you ever been in this position where you've done that and you said, okay, sure, I'll help you. And then after a while, you notice that you keep helping all these people and you never really get your goals and dreams. You start helping everybody because you want to help people, but your dreams get laid by the wayside. Well, here's the thing. You can't say yes to everything. You have to learn to say no. But you must know someone who can. What I mean here is you must learn to be a connector. If you are not good at that particular thing that that person needs help with, learn to connect them with someone who specializes in that area. There's more power in being a connector of people than there is trying to serve everyone. It's not going to happen. You can't overextend yourself. So learn to say no, but don't walk away from that opportunity. Be a connector. Find someone that can help them. Next, another thing you can do to help others in living in having that millionaire mindset is you have to probe for problems. You have to identify people's problems. That's actually how you build a business. That's how all businesses start, is they find an issue or a pain or a hurt. They find a problem that people have. When we talked about earlier about Ray Kroc, the McDonald's brothers, their issue wasn't making burgers. Their issue was a system of serving the people that were lines and lines out the door. Well, Ray Kroc saw that, and he saw a problem. He saw the problem of inconvenience, and he saw that problem, and he turned it into an opportunity. That's a millionaire mindset. You have to probe for problems. You have to think about what can you do to help people overcome their problems. You also have to become a healer of hurt. People have pain in life. They're trying to overcome their pain. People, when they buy, keep in mind, business owners, that your customers buy for pleasure. They're buying for a reason to make them feel better, to buy towards making them feel good. Ever heard of stories or people that, maybe they have a wardrobe of clothes? And I'm not speaking to ladies or men. I'm speaking to both. But they have a wardrobe full of clothes and there's still tags on them. Well, or maybe it's other things. Maybe it's electronics. Well, people buy things for pleasure. They buy things because they want to make themselves feel better. Let me tell you a brief story here. I once had a client of mine. They said, well, what if, when I buy gas, for my vehicle, it's very hurtful. I mean, gasoline's like $4.50. I said, you're right. It's expensive, and it probably hurts your pocketbook at that moment. But would it hurt more of not buying gasoline and not getting to your place of work? Absolutely. See, the pain of not making more money is stronger than the pain of paying for the gasoline for your car. So people buy for pleasure. Keep that in mind. Your customers are buying to fulfill a need and a problem. Okay, business owners, keep that in mind. That's crucial. Solving their problems. That's the next one. Solving their problems, because when you become a problem solver and you build a system around solving problems, millionaire status is right around the corner. That's what you have to do. Identify a need and fulfill the need by solving problems. Quote here by Zig Ziglar says, when you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. And I'll never forget, on the screen here, we have the words, never, never, never give up. Winston Churchill was about to give his biggest speech of all time. It went down in history as one of the best speeches of all time. And it was so brief because he was speaking to thousands and thousands of young men. And these men were very entrepreneurial. And the only words he said to them was, never, never, never give up. So I want to convey those same words to you. Is never, ever give up. If you give up on your goals and dreams, what good is it? I mean, really, you have to continue to move forward and never give up. You may be knocked down. That's what your coach is for. You may have naysayers in your life, saying that's not going to work, that's not going to happen. That's what your coach is for. Always go back to the people who are there by your side, who are going to help you and encourage you and believe in you to move forward. Last one is belief. You must believe. You must believe in yourself. I'm going to tell you a little secret, okay? I didn't think I was going to share this with you, but I have to before we get off this call, is that I want you to say to yourself right now, I am a salesperson. I am a salesman. I am a saleswoman. You're probably thinking, ugh, sales. No, that's not me. Well, listen, you are. The first person that you sell every day, because you sell every day, and if you didn't know that beforehand, now you know. You sell every day, and the first person you sell every day is you. You're selling yourself on who you are, who you want to become, the lifestyle you want to live, the type of business you want to have, the car you want to drive, the family life you want to have, the relationship you're in. You're selling yourself, your life. You really have to sell yourself on the belief of what your goals and dreams are. And once you can sell yourself on what you want, you can sell everybody else on it. It means you can start achieving everything else you want. And you can help other people get what they want too. It's a great thing. So, but the most important thing is belief. It's right there. You have to believe in what you're doing. If you have doubt, it's going to be a lot harder. If you have doubt that you're not going to reach a certain level, or you have doubt in your goals that you're not going to achieve them, if you have doubt that you're going to build a multi-million-dollar business, get off the racetrack. You have to know that you have to believe in your inner core that you are going to achieve that. So keep that in mind. It's the most important thing. Hey, I want to give you another gift before we get off this call. It's my gift to you, but only for the first 25 people. That's it. It's a free CD, and I call it the 7 Lost Secrets to Prosperity. These 7 lost secrets, if you're trying to build a multi-million-dollar business or even $1 million business, you should really pick up this CD. The 7 Lost Secrets to Prosperity, and in there I share 7 simple secrets that you can start implementing right away. It's very easy, very simple, because success is easy. Success leaves clues. Other people can do it too, and so can you. So what I want you to do is write down this number. It's 773-234-3085. And there, you just simply request your free CD, and we'll get it right out to you. Well, I want to let you know that I've really enjoyed this time with you today. I really appreciate the opportunity that I've had, that Larry's given me to share this information, this content with you. I hope that you have taken great notes and that you go back to these notes and not just go back and read them, but apply them. Application, self-discipline of application is so powerful. You know, as they say, knowledge is power, but listen, applied knowledge is wealth. So do it today. Start today. Write down what your goals are. If it's to build a multi-million-dollar business, $1 million business, or even just do your first deal in business, write it down and put a due date to it. Because when you start doing that, you're going to start seeing the results come into your life. Well, I'm excited for you. It's been a great time, and I really appreciate Larry giving me this time to chat with you, and this is to your success. So I hope you get the most out of it and live with passion.
Well, Nathan, I really appreciate it, man. That was some really, really good stuff. I mean, I took a lot of notes, and sometimes, and I've read a lot of books and been to a lot of seminars about self-development and self-improvement, and sometimes it's just important to be reminded as it is to learn new things. And I was reminded by a lot of things that I hadn't thought about for a long time, and it was really, really good. And what do you think, Nathan, is if you had to tell somebody the number one thing they could do tomorrow to change their life, what do you think that number one thing would be?
That's a great question, Larry. I get that question asked of me often. The number one thing when you wake up tomorrow, if you listen to this call and you want to know what that one strategy is, what is it? Dream big. Dream really big. You know,
Wow.
Donald Trump says, dream big or go home, but listen, dream big. Because when you start dreaming big, it's going to start happening. And apply everything else that we've talked on this call. But start dreaming. Start thinking bigger than you are today. Because when you start thinking bigger, it's going to start coming into your life.
That's huge. I like that. You know, I did read somewhere in one of Donald's books that he says, you know, he said, I came to the conclusion that if you're going to have to be thinking anyway, you might as well be thinking big.
That's right.
And I like that. I mean, that kind of brings it down to a manageable level where, I mean, you think about it, hey, if you got to think anyway, you might as well be thinking big. And you don't necessarily have to do it in the manner that he does it. And, you know, he's, you know, in a world of all of his own, but a whole different story. But you know, I mean, you got to be thinking big. You got to think big. And it really, you know, this call tonight has really inspired me to think bigger and better things about my business and my family and the things that we want to do. Because you know, let's face it, if you're going to be thinking, you might as well be thinking big. And so, Nathan, I really appreciate you being on tonight and sharing that good information and giving away those couple of free items that you gave away tonight to my students. And guys, I got to tell you, Nathan is the real deal. He's very successful, and he's a consultant. He's a speaker. He's a trainer. He's a coach. He's an author. He's very, very good at what he does. And, you know, like I mentioned, I've hired him on numerous occasions to come down to my office to help me to be able to better systematize my office, to create additional processes and procedures and systems in place, and eventually was able to get him to come down to my office and come down and work with me, you know, kind of on a full-time basis, a temporary full-time basis, I guess. I mean, I know he's got bigger and better things planned than working with me from now on, but I was fortunate enough to get him to come to my office, and some of my inner circle on the job training mentor students have seen Nathan, and you know, we'll see him when you come to my office and visit our on the job training inner circle, and you'll see him, and I'm blessed to know him and have him in my life, and I really appreciate what he does. Nathan, thank you so much for what you do and for taking the time tonight for my students.
Thanks, Larry. I really appreciate the comments and the opportunity. It's been great.
It's no problem at all. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for listening. I really do appreciate it. Be sure and call the number and be able to get your freebies there from Nathan. And thanks, everybody, for listening. And remember, when you wake up in the morning, do what Nathan said. Think big. And like he said with your goals, write it down. Write it down. A goal that's not in writing is just a conversation or it's just a thought. You got to have it written down, and it's got to have a deadline. So write it down. Write down your number one goal and think big, guys. And thank you so much for listening. And Nathan, once again, thanks a lot for being on tonight.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night.